Hello everyone, welcome back. Episode 21 of Big Time Auto Racing. A little bit of a special edition. We kind of missed some time because my wife just birthed our first son. So, big exciting weekend for me. Obviously, she went in labor the night of the race, the Cars Tour race at Hickory. So I didn't get to watch a whole lot of it. I did get to catch up on it by now, but I watched a little bit as she was literally in labor. So you guys can, I'm sure a few of you may have heard that on the broadcast or whatever. So I know Flo gave us a couple of nice shout outs. So we really appreciated that. That was a nice little pick me up at the hospital for sure, because we were very nervous and full of anxiety and stuff, because that's a scary but absolutely magical experience. And we have a healthy baby and mama. So we're really excited, and dad here is really excited and emotional and but definitely excited to talk some racing, get back into the racing spirits. But Brandon, you just got done racing at Hickory this weekend. Hard fought day, ended up with a pretty decent result, all circumstances considered. I mean, you lost the power steering belt and thought you was going to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit about that. A little quick rundown of what that felt like.
Yeah, so like you said, our night probably could have been over before lap 30. We started off race. We ate the earth in qualifying, so I kind of relegated us back there a little bit, and I almost became another victim of adding a nice stripe to Hickory's painted walls. So blew old power steering hose, but luckily got old girl woed down and came in and got some assistance from not only, of course, my guys, but your dad and Chad Bryant and those guys. So big thanks to those guys for lending us a power steering hose, and not only that, but also helping getting it on and getting me back out there. So allowed us to continue on, and we'll dive into that a little more later, I'm sure. But like I said, it basically took erased the DNF for sure. So super thankful to everybody involved for getting us back out there.
So eventful weekends for both of us. Both in the labor and delivery room, and for Brandon at the racetrack. But another exciting addition to the podcast, not only a new baby Wilson, but GeoCut, the brand new face of Big Time Auto Racing, GeoCutFabrication.com. I mean, that's pretty neat. We got Adam on board here with Big Time, so they've got a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, a lot of you guys have already seen some stuff from GeoCut, but Big Time is going to start shedding some light on some of the cool stuff they do. So big shout out to GeoCut Laser and Powder for coming on board of Big Time Auto Racing for to be our prime partner for the year. That sounds pretty good, don't it, Brandon?
Yeah, big thanks to Adam Zirkle. He's been started following us last year and listening, and has been a big supporter of the show, and got to talking to myself, and I kind of was relaying stuff to Dylon here over the last couple weeks, and finally was able to get everything finalized, and so glad to have GeoCut and Adam on board with us this year. He's a talented individual, and I feel like we all probably have some pretty cool stuff in mind, for us, for our brand, and for what his services can bring. So just glad to have him on board and kind of take this thing to the next level.
I mean, he makes all kinds of stuff. I mean, between, whether you want some artsy looking chassis stuff parts around the house, or you want some chassis parts for your race car. I mean, anything you want. I've seen they made some really cool rocket stoves and stuff like that with the race teams engraved on them. They do a lot of really cool stuff. Obviously, it has a laser cutter. That's kind of the main thing there. But GeoCut Laser and Powder, GeoCutFabrication.com, and you'll learn a little bit more about them. You can order on-demand laser cut parts online with just a few clicks of the mouse, and fast lead times, no minimum orders. Adam does it all, himself, so he's the real deal, and it's all personable and stuff. So it's a good place to go get any kind of laser cutting work you need done. So big shout out to GeoCut for being a part of Big Time Auto Racing. We got a lot of cool stuff in store this year, so really thankful for them coming on board. Anyway, let's get on to a little bit of this race recap from Hickory. This week, obviously, everyone, we're going, it's a double week, right? It's a hell tour right now. You got 3 races in a row, Brandon. This was the part of your last year that beat the shit out of me. Tough part of the year. It's early in the year, so you shouldn't be too burnt out at this point. So it should be a pretty exciting stretch of races for you. But nonetheless, a lot of work podcast-wise because it's hard to do a preview episode and a recap episode. So for the next couple of weeks, you're just going to see a preview recap duo episode as we're racing 3 times in a row, obviously. So as you guys are driving down this Friday morning, hopefully you're having a nice little safe trip. Maybe you're not listening to it at this time, but I mean, I'd imagine you would. But we're going to just get into the Hickory recap before we get into. We've done a New River preview. If you want to listen to the track facts, track history, some of our original picks, some track facts about Andrew Grady and some of his family history there and stuff. We did an episode just a few episodes ago. You can go listen to that one to get some more track facts. We don't want to dilute the New River content on 2 episodes, so we're going to just talk about the Hickory recap and a little bit of the preview, obviously, for the next one, because the entry list did change up. Some guy named Dale Jr. is racing in it now, so that does change shit up a little bit for the Cars Tour world, and it looks like they brought in some more grandstands for the occasion, is what I was told, right? They brought in some grandstands, so that's pretty neat.
Yep.
It's always exciting when old Junebug gets behind the wheel of a late model, because it's going to bring electricity to the atmosphere just because of the buzz of the fans and stuff that he always brings. So it's always good for late model guys in general, but Cars Tour especially. It'll amplify it a little bit. So it's exciting that it's happening at New River because those people haven't got to see a big Cup Star Daytona 500 winner race there before, I'd imagine. So pretty damn neat. With that being said, Hickory was a pretty good race too. Connor Zilish ended up winning the race, he's been on a hot streak lately. He's starting to become talk of motorsports right now. So that wasn't a big surprise.
Yeah, I was fortunate, obviously, in my tenure of when I was kind of coming on board to Carroll Speed Shop this year to be able to spend some time with Connor as he drove for him here over the last year or two, and just a super cool kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, take his talent out of it. I mean, that speaks for itself. I mean, I don't know many 18-year-olds have a Rolex. Do you, Dylan?
No, I don't. I sure
as shit
did not have one.
He got his the right way. He didn't steal it.
I had a damn diesel. It cost $200 at Kohl's.
Yeah.
And it looked cool as gold.
He but a great kid. I mean, he's, for the talent that he has and for the success he's had,
he's legit. Also, something else they did that was cool is you broke the streak, and now at 20 total races at Hickory, 2 out of 20 of those races, the winner came outside the top 10, and Connor Zilish did it. Started 11th. I wrote him off. I seen he qualified 11th. I'm like, that's it. He didn't qualify inside the top 10. He ain't got a shot. But boy, was I wrong. I was pretty keen on the likes of Chad McCumbee, obviously starting second, and then your pole sitter Landon Lewis in the 62 car was obviously very fast in qualifying. Ended up finishing in 13th. But a pretty mostly tame late model stock race. The pro late model race was there was a lot of fireworks involved. Yeah. I obviously was in the middle of the labor and delivery room during the race, so I didn't get to see all the calamity, especially the first half of the race. So we're going to switch it up this week. Brandon, why don't you just tell us from the view from the cockpit, not necessarily all your race recap, just for yourself. Give us a whole race recap. What all was going on at the damn Hickory Motor Speedway Saturday? Because it was pretty wild. Old Connor Jones was about to whip some ass at one point. He hit the shit out of the wall. He got tagged by the 95 Jacob Hefner, so a little beef there.
Yeah, I would say.
What all's going on?
That's kind of where everything started. So, we kind of already touched on. I was the first caution, and that was lap 29. So that's when you seen Jesus. Yeah, that's when I was like, this is going to hurt. Mm-hmm. And thank God it didn't. But well, you know what? Let's pause for a second, Dylan. Me and you were talking about this earlier today. Why don't you give our viewers a nice little quick, grab the popcorn of what it is like to do that at Hickory, because you yourself have.
Yeah, I've done it. I hit the ball pretty hard there. I've talked about it a couple of times, I think, in my podcast history, but there was a time where I think it was my third ever race, and I drove into one with a lot of confidence. I was running probably maybe 15th out of maybe 20 cars at the time at Hickory for, like I said, third race ever, 2013. I think I got shoved in the corner a little bit, or I overdrove it. I don't even remember. but he didn't hit me much. Anyways, got loose, tried to drive through it, and did a little bit of that overcorrection number, and I hit the wall a ton. So
your visor, right?
Yeah, that I hit the wall so hard my damn visor broke. So I know the feeling going into the wall at Hickory going into 1 and 2. So yeah, I can imagine that was a pretty scary moment.
Me and you shared a laugh today that you don't realize how banked that track is.
Yeah, until you're about to launch into the graveyard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It don't seem that banked until you're heading northbound on it, you know?
Yeah. So, like I said, so I brought out the first caution. So we rack them back up and we get going. And then I'm going to, I, of course, was coming back up from the rear. So I did not see the initial contact. So I'm going off of the beautiful coverage that Flo provides to all of us drivers and fans. Connor was definitely out of shape, it looked like, before Jacob got into him.
Mm-hmm.
However, there obviously was contact, and you and I spoke on this. I think there was definitely a mixture. It was the perfect shitstorm of contact mixed with overcorrection.
I think about the time Connor Jones was like this.
Yeah,
like saving it, thinking it was he's driving the hell out of it, was about the time Jacob said, just gave him a little tap or whatever. Yeah. I don't think it was a hard. It didn't look like a hard hit. I don't know if there's past beef between the two.
Yeah, so that's
that's up for speculation, I guess. But
one thing is for certain,
it was a good one.
He did hit a ton.
Hell yeah!
I mean, the whole damn car come off the ground. I mean,
and then he ran. Then he clamped bordered all the way down to the back stretch to give him a firm. I don't know if he flipped him the bird or just gave him a.
Yeah, Then that led to a verbal / not really physical altercation in the pits.
Yeah, RJ wanted the smoke.
Yeah,
at one point, RJ was trying to get the smoke at one point per Landon. Landon's video. It's
that's
like it sounded like RJ wanted the smoke, but I think RJ was just a pot stirrer.
We were parked,
which is his specialty.
Where you go to Tech at Hickory.
Yeah.
So that happened to be right there where RJ was at. So I actually was on pit road at this point.
Right.
And I'm looking right at it, and I'm like, holy shit, they're about to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, Hickory's finest 5.0 was there, and it was it got pretty real there for a little bit. So then after all those fireworks finally calmed down, it was just, I think it was kind of go time for everybody. But what was crazy is I think that was still like we had just crossed lap 50.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm like, this race is going to take forever. So got back going, and then that's when it started to kind of turn into Hickory. Good old barn burner, good side-by-side racing, kind of the old ship the guy and, exchange it and whatnot. And then I believe that's when Connor Zilich really started making his press. Chad McCumbee led a decent amount of the race. And he, once again, man, I hate to say it, but he had issues. This time it was radio problems.
Yeah.
We actually were lined up to go green, and they stopped it to allow Chad to come down and switch out radios. But I saw him post on social media that he still was having problems. So instead of saving it all, he just elected to go. And ultimately, he said burn his stuff up. So, and one thing, though, that I will say out of the, my windshield, it was amazing the good cars.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you talked about, I feel like the top this year at Hickory's kind of been not irrelevant, but non-existent.
Right.
It's just been a struggle.
Yeah.
Not for Connor Zilich.
Right. Yeah, he definitely made it look good. That's for sure.
Yeah, he took the lead from the top. So, and stayed up there majority of the time. Butterbean got a run on him later in the race, about 30 to go. Actually took the lead for a lap or two. And Connor prevailed and drove back around him on the top. So your typical Hickory race, nothing too overly crazy, but that, like me and you spoke on the previous episode, there's always going to be that excitement, and it was definitely still there. So, I feel like when we visit the old gal later in the summer for the old throwback 276, it'll be the same. Always a barn burner at Hickory. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, after the race at Hickory, that old Connor won. There's the points leader, Connor Hall. Connor Hall's leading the points.
Who's second? Give us a top 5, Dylan.
Connor Hall leading the points Minnie Tyrell second, 7 points back. Brent Cruz third, 8 points back. Bobby McCarty fourth, 11 back, and Trayton Lapsevich fifth, 14 points back after 2 races. So yeah, that's a interesting little top 5 there, right? After 2 races, I think. I mean, obviously Carson wasn't there yesterday or at Hickory, so that.
Yeah, finished third, fourth in his Xfinity debut. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. No big deal. Carson Quaffle, big shout out, finishing 4th, top 5 in his first ever Xfinity start at Martinsville. So obviously the talent is real, and went and proved it on the big stage and didn't fold under pressure, and it seemed like make all the. I didn't get to watch it. I'm not gonna act like I watched the race, but it seemed like he did a pretty damn good job if you finished top 5 in the first event.
I was jacked up from Hickory, so I got home, and that's the lovely of all these races. They'll normally replay a couple hours later, so I packed it on in and watched it when I got home from Hickory from about lap 50 till the end, and he earned it, man. He was, like you said, the talent is real. Carson Quaffle is a shoe. Everybody knows that, just like Connor Zilich, and congrats to him, and I'm sure this is the first of hopefully many opportunities he's going to get. Maybe another one this year. I can say as a competitor of him, I've got a lot of respect for him, but it doesn't hurt my feelings when he's not there. So maybe if he can get 1 or 2 more, gives all of us an extra chance at a win this year at a Cars Tour race.
No doubt about it. Carson's definitely a shoe. Again, proved it on the big stage. Always cool to see a Cars Tour graduate go do it. And obviously he's going to get more opportunities throughout the years. So big shout out to him. So Brandon, we're gonna have to do a rapid solo, the first ever solo rating.
Oh boy,
man, how about that?
Yeah, this is gonna be. Well, we can do it that way, but you've been at the good old Hickory Motor Speedway about every week this year. The only week you weren't was for a very important reason. Your wife was in labor.
I have. So. I'll help you score. I'll help adjust your score. How about that? And we'll just call it. Yeah. We'll call it a in unison score this time.
That's fair.
Because I wasn't at the race. However, I've been to several races at Hickory this year, so I got to see the new facilities, and it does look great now. So I'll get to chime in a little bit. So let's just go ahead and get right on in to the scoring for this weekend. All right, we're going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to let Brandon give his initial score since he was at the racetrack and obviously competed in the race. I'll give my professional adjustment to it, and it won't be by much, but I'll lean it one way or the other. How about that, by a point or so? All right, so it's a new rating scale. It's only our second rating of the year, so excited to do this.
Yep.
Being it's a short week, we was hoping to have a guest on and kind of do this, but I'm sure you guys kind of understand the scenario as far as having babies and a triple header and all that good stuff. So a little bit of a crapshoot right now, but we're getting there. Starting off, let's go ahead and do fun factor. So let's fun factor. How fun was it to race? Did you pass? Was there a lot of strategy involved this past weekend? How was the tire fall off? All that good stuff, or did the tire fall off and make you good at racing? All that good stuff. So, what's your score on fun factor this week?
I'm gonna say I'll give it an 8. I was between a 7 and 8, and folks, if you're new listeners, Dylon and I don't do half scores.
Yeah.
So, but I'll lean more towards 8, and the reason why, Dylon and I actually got to talk to each other earlier today, and for myself, on this ST2 tire, sorry, I'm still a fan. Kudos so far to the Cars Tour and to Hoosier Tire. I beat the shit out of my stuff for 150 laps.
Yeah.
I mean, I from the drop of the rag, I was going. There wasn't no riding, and normally, as you talk about, that's kind of my forte.
Right.
And I didn't. So it was still tough to pass. I think somewhat because old gal still got some of that sealer left on her.
Mm-hmm.
I had it absolutely caked all of my frame rails Friday and Saturday. And so I think that helps the top, especially when the tour comes to town.
Yeah.
And, obviously all those guys, all of us are the real deal. So you could pass. It was still difficult to pass. But I do think I felt like the racing from, let's say, fourth on back was better.
Yeah.
Like I felt like we were more pack racing, I guess, so to speak, versus it just being all sprung out and whoever's leading is running away by a straightaway. I mean, obviously Connor ended up winning by about that much, but
Yeah.
really he didn't stretch it out till that last green flag run, about 30 to go. So,
Yeah.
like I said, for me, I'm gonna give it an 8 on fun factor. You know, uh, that was my first time getting on the racetrack where they've done some of the patch jobs. Definitely took me a little bit of an adjustment in certain areas on Friday. I feel like some bumps that have went away and some new bumps that have appeared. So, but still, it's good old Hickory.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, man, I was judging by, I was kind of thinking you were probably gonna be between 7 and 8, and I was gonna lean you towards 8 if you said 7, but since you said 8, I'm gonna stick with an 8 because the only time I'd put Hickory at a 10 is like the 2022 throwback race. That was badass. It was super slick, worn out, nighttime racing, hot. The whole deal. That was super fun. I would say that was a 10 night, but or at least a 9. But yeah, I'd say 8's a solid score for fun factor. So track atmosphere. This one's about fan turnout, events kind of held, maybe driver intros, fan fest, all that, promotions, any kind of trackside or how the trackside turnout was, if there was trackside. So how was the track atmosphere this weekend at Old Hickory?
I'm going to give that an 8 as well. We did, of course, have our first fan fest of the year. Big turnout for that. I felt like the crowd, for it being a little cooler, because it was pretty chilly.
Yes.
Or not during the day. It was nice during the day, nice during fan fest, and I think that's part of why they had a great turnout.
Yeah.
But by the time the pro late model race got through, I'd say their first competition caution, it was starting to get a little nippy.
Oh yeah.
So,
I'd say so.
But we had a great turnout for the fan fest. Like I said, I thought a stellar crowd for the circumstances. And then also the tour did implement. We have a tunnel now, so I'm excited for you to come back and see us in a couple weeks, brother.
I've seen that.
And that was different. I had a little bit of. I was just waiting to walk through it, and the damn thing deflate and fall on me.
Yeah, I've seen that. Let's go. I'm glad they're doing some cool stuff like that.
So, that's something new. So kudos to the tour for that. And then also we got to, unfortunately, but also at the same time, fortunately, there was a young kid named Deaston, who unfortunately fell terminally ill, that we had him out at the racetrack this weekend, and the tour had us all sign up. It was kind of like I don't really know the best. I mean, it's a piece of wood, about like what you made my neon sign out of. That they had the pro late model division and the late model stock division. All of us signed for him, as cool. Well as us give out gear and whatnot. So, prayers to him and his family. Unfortunately, like I said, he has fell terminally ill, and they're not giving him a whole lot longer. But that day he wasn't sick.
Yeah, it's cool. That's what it's all about for sure.
Sick. So like I said, all in all, really awesome of the tour to do that. And I want to give a kudos to all of our fellow competitors as well. I thought everybody joined together and did a great job for that.
Yeah, it seemed like all the drivers did a really good job interacting with them and stuff through the intros. So it was really cool to see. And obviously, it's I'd love to see that all the time. Any time there's a situation where anybody could use help of that is like the absolute least that any race car driver could do. So that's one of those things that goes without saying, right? So yeah, I'd agree with you on track atmosphere. Hickory's always fun. They always have good promotions and stuff there. So I'd say I'm not going to change that one either. I'm going to go 8 and 8 with you on fun factor and track atmosphere. Up next, though, facilities, which they have some upgrades, obviously, including lighting. I think they switched to some better lights. I don't know what they did exactly. Honestly, I would be lying if I said I knew what they did lighting wise, but I'm pretty sure they made some adjustments there or some improvements. I'm not real sure, but regardless,
now that you bring that up, it did look.
Maybe it's just the infield being dark.
Yeah, maybe it just reflects off that.
Yeah,
well,
maybe.
I thought the infield was more well lit.
I did too. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I might be looking past this, but anyways, lighting, infrastructure, eye appeal, infield elbow room, parking, all that good stuff, spotter stands. What's that reading for you? I feel like this is an important one for Hickory.
Yeah, for sure. So kudos to Kevin and all of his staff. Pit road's beautiful. I'm a fan of it. It's awesome. Now, granted, where I was at, it was funny. So there's like a 45 going from the tech shed to the back of where the new asphalt stops.
Yeah.
So I was just off of the new asphalt as far as where I pitted at.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as getting to pit road, it's awesome now to turn off the racetrack and not feel like you're going to hit the cross member.
Yeah, it's also nice that it kind of worked out the spacing a lot better and the parking just because the lines are better and they kind of, I don't really know what RJ had a great thread on Twitter that kind of put emphasis on a lot of the improvements. That was I don't remember all of it. There was a lot of cool stuff that they did that he pointed out. That was a lot of spacing wise, it seemed a lot better. And even this year, even though it's not been, I haven't been to a tour race and there ain't been 90 cars there or whatever, but the local shows have been very roomy on the front stretch compared to years past.
And I will say this: it was nice to pull out of tech, and about halfway down, you're on the new asphalt. Mm-hmm. So now you're not trying to miss a crater.
Yeah, no potholes and stuff anymore.
Be off in the pothole, yeah. So
what'd you end up with on facilities? Made some improvements, but it's still not the most newest pristine thing in the world. That's for sure. Still some decaying buildings around there,
so on this
some mud holes, still some drainage issues, still a lot of track issues. Like we got to point the bads out too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be good. I think here on this one. So instead of being that 7-8 bracket, I could really be that 6 to 7. But I'm going to give them a 7.
Okay.
Because I do like what they did with pit road. Very nice. I do at least credit them for what they did with the bathrooms. I will say that I think they probably could have been a little better.
Yeah.
Right. But it was nice. And then I will say though, probably by about race time Saturday, it was. If the floors weren't epoxied, I would think we were probably still in the same pissers.
Yeah,
I heard that's kind of my take on that.
I heard after a certain period of time of the day, it got a little rough.
Yeah,
you'll have that. Can't win them all.
That's right.
Well, I don't want to get too dry here, but I mean, I'd have to agree. I mean, I've been to a few races this year, and obviously there's still some issues here and there, and it ain't perfect, but it also is a damn 70-year-old racetrack. So like,
that's right.
It's not gonna be perfect. So you can't say it's a damn 10. But I'm gonna agree with you and go 7 here. I would say I would bump it to an 8 because of all the improvements, but like there's still some drainage issues. There's still some mud holes here and there on the back, and that's just you only can do so much at a time. Everybody understands that, I think. So, I'm gonna agree with there. 7 for facility. So 887 so far. Up next, the most important and talked about one of all time in the history of big time auto racing is the shitters, bathroom and concessions. What's the elbow room in the bathroom look like? What's the cleanliness? What's the comfort of the shitter itself? The porcelain throne, some may call it. Food quality, how's it? And menu items, all that good stuff. We go off bathrooms and concessions on the same rating this year because typically they go hand in hand. Not always, but most of the time, most tracks, they go together. So this year, at Hickory, for the first time ever, we're rating bathrooms and concessions together. Now, I've had concessions this year here, so I can speak on that a little bit. Chicken tender's pretty damn solid. They do have quite a, all the typical racetrack foods that'll damn get you by for sure. So can't hate on that. So I can definitely say that the concessions will get the job done. Some may say they'll make a turd. You've also got the bathrooms, which were upgraded this year. Like you said, they got the nice epoxy floor put in there. Got some full size stalls, and they're nice and tall now, so you don't have to look over and see the guy taking a number 2 next to you. So it makes things a little bit more comfortable and private in the stalls. However, that does not stop the tire guy bandits and the spotters and all them guys from going in there and making snow-capped shit mountains by 12 o'clock on race day.
Yep, every time.
I mean, come the on. Every time we do this, every time, all the racers and all, everybody that's out there hanging out just want to go take a peaceful dump. All the guys that's worked all day, and then you got these damn tire guys. Been sitting under tents with their damn fans blowing on them. Their little staggered tapes. Fucking got like 8 of them hanging off their pocket. First thing they do is come there, sit down with a sweaty butt and make snow-capped shit mountains. And I don't get it.
Yep.
I don't get it. It's 2024, guys. It's 2024. We got to get past that. I don't put snow-capped shit mountains always on the racetrack. However, snow-capped shit mountains at Hickory are a bit notorious.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Mount Everest.
That is where the term was invented.
Yeah.
With that being said, they don't look pristine, but I tell you what, I feel a lot more comfortable in there now, and I think last year we might have gave them a 3, maybe a 4.
Yeah, I think it was a 4. If we didn't,
what you giving it this year?
If we didn't, they caught us on a really good night.
What are you giving it this year? Bathroom and concessions, remember.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, and everybody that's followed us, I did see so with the timing this week and stuff, I didn't have much of an appetite, which is kind of rare for me. I mean, me and Dylan are the same on race days. Normally Friday, I'm kind of, whatever. Like, I'll eat. It doesn't matter. Race day is just different.
Yeah.
But they did have the concession stands open on Friday, so that automatically gets you a point, in my opinion.
Yep, like that.
I'm gonna go 7 because if it was strictly on the shitters, we're probably still at I don't know. I mean, because here's what I can tell. It is still the same trough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We just no longer have all the stickers on it.
Who do you think the fella was that went in there and did the sticker removal job?
I don't know. That is literally, no pun intended, but a shitty job.
Because it was not one wraps, and it will not be one wraps on those jobs. I'll pass on those.
Yeah, it ain't that. The money can't be that good.
I would like to know that, if we can get that on record. Who's the piss trough sticker removal bandit? Because that guy deserves some type of award.
Compensation.
Yeah. He legal compensation. So you're going. What are you doing? You're going 7?
Yeah, they did make, like you said, they made the stalls taller.
Yeah, I'm bumping you down to a 6.
Oh, wow.
I think final score is going to be 6. Yeah, we're going to go 8, 8, 7, 6 here.
The reason I said 7 is because you said the chicken tendies were good. So.
Well, they're good, and it does this. The concessions are good. I mean, like, anytime you want to get some food at Hickory, absolutely go for it. I would just maybe watch out at a certain period of time in the stalls, and it's not necessarily Hickory's fault. That's sometimes it's just on the Cars Tour. Yeah, just tire guys, man. They get you every time. Anyways, so we're gonna go 6 there. Up next, we got surrounding areas. So the food, nightlife, hotels, stuff to do in the Hickory area. Obviously, it's kind of the stomping grounds, and it's kind of became, a second home for you last little bit here. So surrounding area, Hickory, what are you giving it?
Yeah, so I did not stay this trip.
Yeah.
Which part of that's probably because you were doing bigger and better, more important things.
I was a little busy.
Yeah. So, and rightfully so. I did have PDQ on Saturday at the track. So that's
Did you get it in Hickory? Or you get different PDQ?
So
because they shut PDQ down in Hickory unless they moved it. I seen they shut it down. I didn't know if they moved it.
Yeah, so that is facts because we thought that's where we were gonna get it from, and then we found out.
Oh shit! So you ended up.
It came from Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that'll because you got my hopes up. I was like, did they move?
Yeah, that'd have been awesome.
You got a different PDQ.
Yeah. PDQ's underrated in my opinion. So and then but it's Hickory's nice, man. As far as like, you got Mellow Mushroom, you got the old Hooters. I mean, I'm not gonna go as far as say fine dining, but I mean Kickback Jack. I mean, there's plenty to get the job done.
There's a lot of local
No,
spots you can
actually,
go
you know
to
what?
for
Yeah,
sure
I
if
will
you go
say
race at
fine
Hickory.
dining. I feel like Mossamore is considered fine dining.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those spots around Hickory, but
So it's
yeah,
definitely not a dump by no means.
I mean, it ain't no damn downtown Charlotte, but like there's some shit to do in Hickory, so like you can definitely, if you're wanting to go out and shake a leg or something, you can probably make that happen if you want to.
So I'll give it, man. Tonight we've been super honest, so I'm torn on this one. Fuck. I'm gonna go. And keep in mind, folks, this will be re-rated by the throwback. I'm gonna go 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with the 7. I was gonna say 8 just because it's my home place, but like I mean, at the end of the day, if I thought it was that damn cool, I'd be in Hickory every day. But I stay in my damn house, so so yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7 there. Let's tally them up. Quick math. Final tallied score for the Hickory Motor Speedway. They have officially joined the elite, and they have made it into the 7 category. Ding, ding, ding. 7.2 for Hickory Motor Speedway on the big time auto racing scale. So 7.2, that's pretty nice for Hickory. I'm glad they made it in the 7 range. They deserve it. It was well deserved upgrades much needed upgrades that were long overdue. That finally got some government assistance and was able to allocate those funds and upgrade the racetrack that needed to be upgraded, and luckily they didn't pave the surface and ruin it yet. So
thank God.
When they do, hopefully hopefully it's still some good racing, but like obviously paving's a scary thought, and it's an old racetrack, so you never know when that could happen. But anyway, 7.2 for Hickory. Round of applause for Hickory. That's pretty good. 7.2. I'm happy for Hickory. All right, you guys, that is most of that episode. But we do want to run through the New River entry list. Like we said earlier, we already have done a New River preview episode, so you can go back and listen to that on just a couple episodes ago. It got rained out, so we honestly at the end of that episode we thought we were racing, so it might get y'all pumped up. So I would go listen to that. Otherwise, the late model stock entry list for this weekend at New River All-American Speedway is Brendan Queen, Ronnie Bassett Jr., Deke McCaskill, Andrew Grady, Brandon Pierce, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bobby McCarty, Carson Quaffle, Buddy Eilis Jr., Mason Diaz, Ryan Millington, Logan Clark, Chad McCumbee, Connor Hall, Cade Brown, Cody Dempster, Brent Cruz, Paul Williamson, Landon Huffman, Bryce Applegate, Isabella Robusto, Landon Lewis, Katie Hettinger, Trayton Lapsevich, Minnie Tyrell, and Jacob Hefner make up the Cars Tour field. And how many cars is that, Brandon?
26.
26 cars racing. So, wow. Pretty good little field. Dale Jr. racing, obviously, so it'll be an exciting event. There'll be a lot of fans there looking for autographs. So, late model boys, get your damn hero cards ready because you probably don't have to get a few handed out this weekend. Be a good time.
May be one big long line.
Yeah.
And we all may be.
Yeah, if you qualify near Dale, just don't take it personal when you see the lines,
Yeah, kind of they're not there to see you.
Been there. I raced Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
Been there. We sat at that autograph line and we all was like, oh, this is how it is. Anyway.
It was hotter than hell.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a great little event this weekend. It's, let's see, what time we got a green flag, Brandon,
We are going to go green, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, at a predicted 8:30, but BP's prediction is 9:05.
9:05. Brandon Pierce official prediction of start time of the race. So make sure you got that damn Flow Racing tuned in. Make sure you got the antennas dialed up towards Planet Dilliner because it is it's time for some flow, right? Got some Flow Racing 8:30 Saturday night. Don't miss it. Looks like Flow Racing goes live at 5, so you get to watch qualifying and stuff or no?
Yep.
Get to watch qualifying. You get to watch Bandoleros.
Yep, I'm gonna be on top of the trailer because they put on a hell of a legend car race there, and I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of them.
Yep, they're gonna have Bandoleros, Legends cars, and Grand National Super Series. That sounds cool. I bet that's them damn Cup cars. Remember them things that were there? They were cool.
And all them guys.
Yeah, might want to check those boys out. So yeah, all ticket holders are eligible to attend a meet and greet at the flag stand on the front straightaway. So if you are a big Dale Jr. fan, you've always wanted to meet him, it'd be a good time to go check out some Cars Tour racing. Get to watch Dale in person, and also you get to maybe meet your next favorite driver. So it'd be a good time to go out and check it all out. So appreciate you guys tuning in once again. This episode, of course, was brought to you by GeoCut. Thanks again, GeoCut, for coming on board. GeoCut Laser and Powder at geocutfabrication.com. Again, you can order on-demand laser cut parts online with a few clicks of the mouse. Fast lead times, no minimum orders. Like I said, Zirkel's a man. He's personable, does business right. You can always trust him, so it'll be really cool to, good guy to work with, obviously. If you ever need any laser cut stuff, geocutfabrication.com. He'll get you hooked up. Go check out their Facebook page, all that good stuff too, because they make a lot of really cool stuff, and it'll get you inspired. If you don't think you need anything laser cut, go look at his page and you'll change your mind. Because every time I look at it, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to. It gives me ideas. I could make so many cool signs, So, anyways, So shout out GeoCut Laser and Powder, the new face of big time auto racing. We're gonna have some cool merch coming out and stuff like that before long. We and Brandon kind of talked about earlier, so we'll keep you guys in the loop on all that. But again, appreciate you guys listening. Go to your local short track this weekend and support. Most important, if you can't, check out Flow Racing. Watch the Cars Tour. If you're in the New River, Jacksonville area, maybe you can go to the beach and go check out a race if you're bored this weekend and want to make the trek down. About a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive from Charlotte. So
about 4.
About a 4-hour drive from Charlotte for those in that area. So to everybody bases where they live off of Charlotte, even if you live. I mean, like,
yeah,
when you go to the beach, where do you live? Oh, Hickory. Where's that at? Hell, about 45 minutes from Charlotte. Oh yeah, where do you live? Shelby, where's that at? About 30 minutes from damn Charlotte. That's what you hear all the time. So you guys know what I'm talking about if you're from here. Anyways, appreciate you guys listening once again. We'll see you guys next time on Big Time Auto Racing. Peace out.
Peace.